Let's talk about performance metrics in venture capital. We'll kick it off with MOIC. MOIC is the multiple on invested capital. This is usually used at a deal by deal level, although you'll see some people use it at a fund level. MOIC is a representation of just what the value of an investment is and the cost of that individual investment. TVPI, the total value to paid in capital, is a lot more important in venture because it has a lot more detail. So it also includes the value of distributions in addition to just the value that's left in an investment. For example, if you sell down part of a company, right, like you're at a Series B and you take 25% of your shares off the table, that will be included in the TVPI. That will not be included in the MOIC. DPI is the most important metric in VC, the distributions to paid in capital. This is the ratio of how much money you actually give back to LPs versus how much money they put into the fund. That's by far the most important metric. However, you also need to really be sure to include an IRR percentage when evaluating venture funds. The IRR is the internalized rate of return. This matters because it's how fast you're actually generating these returns. And usually your IRR should be based only on DPI, not on MOIC, not on TVPI, because if you are to base the IRR on those numbers, it may look really attractive in the early years of a fund, and then eventually people realize that you never got any money out of those early markups, they just all went to zero at some point in time. The craziest thing I've ever seen when evaluating fund decks, when looking at funds, both for my LPs and for other people, has been people who mark to multiple. And so they will take the valuation they invested at, they'll take the valuation a company currently is, and they will just divide that as the MOIC. That's wildly inaccurate because you're not accounting for dilution. And it's like, this sounds like it would be crazy to do that, right? I've seen it in like 3 or 4 decks now. So that's like a very easy way to tell if somebody knows what they're doing is how they calculate metrics, what metrics they use, and how they're benchmarking that. You know, in some cases you just won't have IRR based on the DPI, so you can do IRR based on markups. All different ways to approach it, but it's a really easy metric to evaluate VCs on.